Quick tech tips.
I'm going home.
Now, Microsoft did a thing, and for once, it wasn't a bad thing. Well, not terrible thing. I was actually pretty excited about this until I got into it more and more, and then I became less excited. But it's still, I take this as a step in the right direction because they came out with something called point in time restore. So they're basically kind of like revamping the restore feature on Windows, which I feel like it needed it. I don't know how many people actually used it unless it was like the last resort type of thing. So we're going to show it off real quick. We're going to go into settings and down to system. Recovery should be down here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. And then you'll have this option right here. Now, looking online, it looks like this is actually generally available to everyone right now. However, like when I went and did my first search at my manual pullback on Windows Update, it didn't return anything. So I went and signed up for the preview channel, found it, downloaded it, installed it. But from what I can tell, this should be generally available. So you might be able to just go and do a manual search and pull this feature down. So anyway, so if we get into it, it's going to ask for a UAC prompt. It gives you some settings for this new feature. However, the settings are different depending on what version of Windows you're running. If you're running Windows Home or Pro, these two, the restore point frequency and restore point retention, are going to be grayed out. You're not going to be able to change those. If you're running Enterprise, then you'll have access to those. I think that's kind of dumb. I tried to go through and actually change that in the registry. I found some shady looking registry keys online. I set them. It didn't really seem like it worked. However, you'll see on here that I've actually got multiple of the same day that are just hours apart. So there's definitely something shady going on. Anyways, so yeah, so you do have a few options on here. Like I said, if you're running enterprise, you got a few more. But I do like this slider here. You can basically, this isn't something you want to turn on and then just watch all of your storage space disappear. So luckily they've got a slider there where you can kind of cap it. Now I want to pull up, they do have some documentation out there that is available. So if you are running the enterprise, you will see that the options here are 4 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, 16, 24 hours. And the retention times, again, 4, 6, 12, 16, 24, 72. I do wish that these were more configurable than they are. Like maybe you want to run one every week, and maybe you want to store the last 4, something like that. Again, I think this is like I said, this is a step in the right direction, but I feel like they could offer more for it, give you more customizations. Now, this is going to be on by default for systems that are not under enterprise management. So for home devices, it's just going to be on. For pro devices, that if they're not domain joined or enterprise enrolled, and then enterprise is going to be off by default until you get to 26H2. Something else I wanted to look at, because we do have system restore, but I want to say the main difference here is going to be the settings that you have, which you can configure to be automatic. System restore was event triggered and manually only. Obviously, this is just running automatically in the background, doing its thing, however you configure it to do it. This is the big one. This restores user files, and this did not. They're excluded from the restore point.
That's the big change, right? Is like, I've got files in my user profile I deleted. Not just I install the Windows Update, I install the app, I install the driver. It's everything now.
Exactly. So, and that is what I found to be the most useful about this whole thing, is that, in fact, I can pull it up here. Maybe.
It's interesting that it's not available for home use, though, because this seems like it'd be really handy for people at home.
No, wait, did I hear that wrong? I thought it was available for home use, but you just don't get to configure the frequency.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
available for home use as well. So I did do a test. I deleted some files after I had set a restore point. They were in temp folder. This was gone. I deleted that, and then I did the restore. And in addition to that,
what does the restore process look like, Brock? Like it's not the same as it used to be, right?
Not quite. So all of this, so your management layer is in Windows. However, your recovery layer, actually utilizing it, is going to be in your recovery environment. So to do that, I can show that off. We are running vSphere so we can actually run that. I'm going to run this command. This is how you get into Windows recovery environment if you don't want to go through all that Windows nonsense of like starting, stopping, like failing to boot and then being put into there. Run this. It'll take you in there. I think it's /o, the one that takes you into the recovery environment. So we'll give that a run. Hopefully this does not disconnect on me, and we'll show what that actually looks like. But yeah, because the cool thing about restoring files is you can have all the options, right? You can have OneDrive, you can have Google Drive, you can have network drives available to people. They're still going to have files on their local system, and they're still going to delete them accidentally. So this at least is some option out there to be able to recover those. Whereas like you just had nothing before. If they permanently deleted it, it was just gone.
Yep.
If we go here to troubleshoot, there's your point in time restore option. And this is basically, it's not going to give you a lot of options from here. You choose your restore point. So let's, we'll go with that one. And then you read through the stuff that's going to change. You hit continue. And this is kind of where you really got to like be careful, because once you click restore, it's happening no matter what. But what you got to be careful of is you're not picking exactly what gets restored. It's taking you back to that recovery state. So if you created files since you accidentally deleted a file, well, you better back those up beforehand, because they're going to get removed. It's going to take you right back to wherever that recovery point was. Now, the last thing that I want to mention, I was hoping, because in their documentation, I think it's in here somewhere, it actually says like, hey, this happens in minutes. And
that feels like a lie.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you say it happens in minutes and there's an asterisk, you're like, okay. So my restore, I want to say, took around 30 something minutes.
That's technically minutes.
Exactly. It's one of those technically correct situations, but it did work. My files were restored. In fact, I had installed an application since then, and it removed that application. So it worked. There was no issues. Again, like your options, you're very limited. So it's just like, just do the thing, and it works pretty well. So definitely check this out. It's one more option to consider if you have users that, just are the worst at hitting the delete key. I hit shift delete all the time because that's just what I do. But, and you can't go back from that. But now you can with this. And I hope this gets better. I hope maybe one day it'll be like, hey, what do you want to recover? Maybe you'll get to that point. I hope this is a stepping stone to a better feature in the future.
I think so. It feels a lot like a VM snapshot is kind of what they're going for. It just, ish. Does it seem that way?
It looks exactly the same to me, except for it restores user files.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm curious if anyone in the chat has ever had a system restore work for them and do the thing that you wanted it to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that it did the thing, but did it actually solve your problem? This one seems like it might actually start solving problems.
It might, yeah. I don't know if I'd be inclined to use it. I want to hear if the chat would use it. I don't know if I would. It depends on your level.
To be fair, I haven't had an issue with that device since. I mean, it seemed like it worked just flawlessly. Again, the only changes I made were, I wasn't rolling back like Windows updates and things like that. It was just a couple of files and an application I installed. So not a big deal. If you have a lot of system changes, your mileage may vary.
Yeah, I'm curious what would happen like between like a major build upgrade, like between an H1 and an H2 build. Like, will it roll that back? I don't know.
See what Chris said, director level. Okay, maybe I'm trying it. That's about what I'm thinking.
All right.
Thanks for watching this segment from PDQ Live. If you like this, you'll love the full show. Check it out every Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain. Oh, and like and subscribe, please.